welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah and today I'm going to be pack or passing my advanced reader copies. If you can't see this, I am so very warm that my glasses are steaming up already. It is an honour and a privilege to have advanced reader copies on your shelf. It is. It can take you ages to get one. I stumbled across a few of these in charity shops because you can't buy them, or you shouldn't buy them, and if you know of places where you can buy them, you should let the publishers know, because that is a big no-no within the industry. They cost publishing money, and they are meant to be a tool to help promote great books. And sometimes, even though your intentions were very good when you got the advanced reader copy, the date with which the advancement of that passes and you haven't read the book yet. I've got a few like that, and I will hold my hands up and say that that's on me. And there's a few that I have that I now have no intention of reading, and I can only apologise. So we have the books, the advanced reader copies that I've got that I've read, that I will go through, and I will unhaul and pass on a few of those. And I also have two massive stacks because I'd like them to fit on one shelf. I think if I've got that many advanced reader copies, they've either got to be books that I adore, that I want to keep because they mean something to me, or it's time to pass them on to another reader who doesn't have a massive collection of advanced reader copies and therefore deserves a chance to get a few on their shelf. I think that's only fair. So let's start with the ones that I have read. We have The Mercies by Kieran Millward-Hargreaves. This is the only copy of The Mercies that I have. I have several hardbacks of Kieran Millward-Hargreaves, and I also have a few paperbacks of her like middle grades and YA. This is the only adult novel that she's released, and also the only advanced reader copies of hers that I have, and I found this in a charity shop. I am packing this. I read this as part of a buddy read with Kelly from the Velvet Library. I will leave her links down below because she has a romance book that you need to check out. Actually, she has a couple now that you need to check out. The steam is getting worse. She's getting warm. Please ignore. I can't ignore it, but I need you to try. This is essentially set in, I think, 18th century, 17th century Norway, where an island of men basically die at sea, and the women then continue to live their lives without men. And obviously, they do fine for years. I think it's something like 6 years. 18 months later. It's only like a year and a half. I thought it was literally years. The church rock up and start calling them witches because heaven forfend women actually deal with stuff on their own. It's beautiful, it's poignant, it's sad, it was a 5 stars, and therefore I am packing this. This is coming home with me. It's not technically an advanced reader's copy, but it is a signed author's copy. I have Down Among the Women by Faye Weldon. Faye Weldon was one of my lecturers during my masters. She was also an iconic feminist writer, and I can't read her handwriting. And I couldn't read it on my work either, but she said to me that I deserve to have my own Netflix series. So I'm keeping this as a memory to her. Thank you, Faye. Rest in peace. I adored her. She was incredible. Genuinely one of the greatest people I ever had the luxury to work with. She was a babe. She was very funny. She was great. And I was very sorry when I heard that she passed away a few years ago. I then, again, technically not an advanced reader copy, but I keep it with my advanced reader copies, is Catherine MacDonald's The Rose and Thorn. This is the original Amazon art edition. I think there's been 3 editions since. Kate now has like 20 odd books out, but I was one of the first people to buy one of her first books, and therefore I want to keep it. I don't think I got her to sign it. Oh, I did! Okay, so I did like a little live show with her because we were both doing like writing and things at the same time, and we taught at the same school. So I did get her to sign it, so that's packed. We're keeping this. I then also have The Book of Hours, which is a short collection of poetry. Did I get Lucy English to sign it, or did she bottle out? I think Lucy stuck it in my handbag when I wasn't looking so that I wouldn't have a chance. So Lucy English was my lecturer doing my masters as well. So Faye Weldon, it was for like general writing and getting my workshop piece done, Lucy English taught me everything I know about love story. So if you enjoyed the plot of Puck, you can absolutely thank Lucy for that, because she taught me everything I know about love story. So I'm keeping that, and also it's tiny, like that's not going to make a big deal to my bookshelves. I can keep this one, that's okay. So I have this signed edition by David Saville, which is They're Going to Break Your Heart. This is a historical fiction novel set in 1994 and 2004, which is terrifying to think that's historical fiction, but it is. Set during a tsunami and civil war in Bosnia, and it's brutal. It's so sad. It's so sad. But again, this man taught me everything I know about journalism, so we're keeping it. And then the last two that I'm automatically keeping are The Puzzle Woman and The Rabbit Girls, which are not books that I would ever actively choose to read. These are World War II Nazi camp historical fictions that look at women who were tortured in Ravensbrück, which was like a women's camp where they like did experiments on them and horrible things. And also another one that looks at how they treated disabled people, but set in like a modern thing. They kind of put things together. They're both really interesting, and they're both really sad. I would not ever pick up, because I really don't like war stuff, but my friend Anna Ellery was the author, and I wanted to support her. And because she signed both of them, I am in real time realizing that actually she didn't sign this one. So I only have to keep this one. I can pack The Rabbit Girls, which is the one that I'm more inclined to read a second time anyway, but I'm unlikely to read these. They're just too sad. And then I can unhaul The Puzzle Woman. I loved both of these, but it's hard. It's really hard when it's a genre that I don't read a lot of. It's traumatizing in a way that is very commercialized now, but these came out around the same time as like the original Tattooist of Auschwitz and stuff like that, so it was at the height of that genre intrigue, and I'm exhausted with that genre now, so I only really want to keep one, and therefore I'm going to keep this one because this is the one that's signed, and then that gives me space for something else. Come and Get It, I talked about very recently as one of my favorite books of the year so far, so we're packing it. Do I want to get myself the hardback? Yes. Have I missed my chance to do that? Maybe. But in the meantime, I'm keeping the ARC. The ARC was great. Equally, I do own hardback copies of all of these, and yet I want to keep them anyway. I am packing all of these anyway. So we have She Who Became the Sun, which is the first half of the duology. We have Stone Blind, which is the Natalie Haynes historical fiction. And we have Clytemnestra, another Greek historical fiction. And I adored all of these, and therefore they are all coming with me. Traumatizing. Top tier, across the board. Now, this isn't technically an advanced reader copy in the fact that it is just a standard paperback. However, it was sent to me in advance, and I was also sent the advanced reader copy of The Ragpicker King. However, these will not be living on this shelf. I want to let you know that I have them because I'm very lucky to have them, and thank you very much, Tor, for sending those to me. However, I am not keeping them on this shelf, so they are going here for now. It creates more space on this one, and I'm going to keep these with my fantasy series, which I haven't filmed yet because it's going to be such a long video. But anyway. What I also have is my most recent ARC. This doesn't come out until September 2025, which means by the time this video comes out, you will know this already because I would have already talked about it. The Sisters in the Wind is the sequel for Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Booley, and I'm so excited to read it. I also have Warrior Girl Unearthed, which is by the same author. These are mysteries with supernatural elements, but specifically Indigenous American mythology, and I'm so excited to read this. I'm so excited to read this. So, packed. Not only is she packed, I'm putting this in my handbag so that I can take this home with me and just read. This is what I'll be reading this weekend. We have City of All Seasons by Oliver K. Langmead and Aaliyah Whitley, which was given to me by Titan Books. Thank you very much, Titan. This is one of my most recent ARCs. This is actually only a few months ago, but I still haven't read it yet. This is a sci-fi, which is essentially two different people caught in seasons experiencing different things within the seasons, and then other weird stuff happening. I know Oliver K. Langmead writes really weird speculative books, so I am intrigued to see what they do with this concept. And for that reason, I'm keeping it, but it's not something that I would actively choose for myself. So I'm packing this, but it might go It might go if I have no space for anything else. I have A Multitude of Dreams by Mara Rutherford. Now, I actually tried the first chapter of this one and just really, really liked it. This is a plague story. It's a retelling of Poe's The Masque of Red Death. Now, whilst I'm not interested in having Edgar Allan Poe on my shelves, I don't mind retellings, and I'm hoping this does not have the racism and misogyny that Poe would. We're hoping. We're praying and hoping. So that one is another packed. One that I think I'm going to pass on, though, is The Sky on Fire by Jen Lyons. This came out last July, and it came out when loads of dragon books did. And I love dragons, like I love a dragon story, but I'm already exhausted by dragon stories. And I think this harks back to what I've been saying in a couple of videos recently, which is I am exhausted with high fantasy. And I don't have the stamina for it that I used to. And unless it's hitting very specific tropes, I'm really struggling to get back into it. Now, I have picked up a few fantasies recently and adored them. It's not that I don't still love the genre, but the really tropey, mass commercialized ones, I'm really struggling with. And that makes me sound so pretentious. Like, if it's not underground, I don't want to know. But it is more just a case of ones like this where it's going to be really paint by numbers. I just don't think it's going to be for me anymore. So I am passing on The Sky with Fire, and I can only apologise. I am, however, keeping The Night Ends with Fire by KX Song, because although this is an Asian's dragon story, and potentially another really paint by numbers one, it's paint by numbers by Hot Escape, and I just trust them implicitly. So pack. We're going to pack this one. I'm going to keep The Worst Ronin. I'm going to pack The Worst Ronin. I really, really enjoyed some of the work by Maggie Takonda Hall before, who did The Mermaid and the Witch, and a couple of other really, really great books. And I also think this is just going to be a really quick, short read. So I can keep it, but I don't necessarily have to keep it for very long. I might even try and read this in the next few weeks, and then if I don't want to keep it, I don't have to keep it. But for now, actually I might put it up here. This is I plan on packing if I like it, but I actually plan on reading it before I need to pack it so that I can pass on it, which is a whole new category we didn't even know we had, but there we go. I have The Office of Historical Corrections by Danielle Evans, which is a collection of short stories that look at grief, race, history, and things like that, and I've been told it's really good. I don't pick up anthologies of short stories very often, and I really should. So I'm going to try and prioritise this one and pack this one. Okay, the next one that I've got is The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst, which is another cozy fantasy romance. And I've ummed and ahed about this one because people really like it. But I don't know. I don't know if it's the one that I want. I don't know if I want to keep hold of this. It came out of July of last year, and it was one of the ones that I actually put forward for, that I would actually like this. And I am really grateful to Tor for giving this to me, and specifically to Olivia for selecting me as one of the people that gets an advanced reader copy. But I've been burnt recently by some of the cozy fantasies that I've read, and therefore it's going to be a maybe. I'm just not convinced I'm going to like it. I just feel like I'm not in my cozy era. Everyone is fully in their cozy reads, really enjoying the cutesy romances, and I'm just not. If it's not traumatizing me, I'm not interested at the moment. And I've been really bad for like making hard and fast statements like that before, where I'm like, if it makes me cry, I don't want to know. And now I've like done the reverse. So I'm not making like a hard and fast statement. It may be something that I really like. It's not something I want to prioritize right now. So it's a maybe. Something that's not a maybe is 24 Seconds From Now by Jason Reynolds. This is a young adult contemporary by a black author, and therefore is going to be an automatic pack. I've read a couple of books by Jason Reynolds and really enjoyed them, and I need to prioritize reading this one. I just haven't got to it yet. I've got a couple of Jason Reynolds books left, and I had every intention of doing a vlog where I read every backlist book I had of Jason Reynolds, so I need to keep it. I need to keep it for that reason, if nothing else. I have the first book, Children of Blood and Bone, and I have the third book. What I don't have is the second book. And that's a problem. But it's a problem for another day. I'm going to pack it with these series over here, and we'll work out space another day. But I'm packing. I've also got The Self-Same Metal by Brittany N. Williams. This is a Shakespearean London sweeping fantasy with black girl magic. Gotta keep it. I mean, the fact that it's Shakespearean in theme is just, I'm all over that. BIPOC fantasy, it almost like sprayed edge, like it's patterned edges, which I really, really enjoy. So yes, pack. Kitten break. He's like already annoyed at me for picking him up. Also, look how big he is. This cat is hefty. You used to be so tiny. We have Modern Divination by Isabel Agajanian, which I'm really looking forward to. Like, she's chunky, but I actually have a work in progress called Modern Divination, so I need to change the title on that. Every time I see it, I remember. This came out in January of this year, and I need to read it. I've heard no one talk about it since, so I don't know whether I'm going to enjoy it. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a kind of urban fantasy romance, maybe, but it's Cambridge University vibes. It's dark academia with full-on magic worlds, like magic school vibes. Yeah, I'm keeping. It just sounds like my bag. It just sounds like my bag. Then we have Learwife, which I've had for so long. This came out in 2021. Now, this was unhauled to me, to be fair. This wasn't one that I got as like an original arc, but still, that is quite some time. And I feel like I want to read it because it is a contemporary, but it's a contemporary in the vein of Shakespeare. So I'm going to pack. We're going to pack Learwife. So we have a Victorian Gothic in the burial plots. Now, if you've been on my channel for more than 5 minutes, you will know that I am not great with Victorian Gothic. I pick them up often and like them rarely. So if we're just doing this on a am I going to pick this up before I pick up anything else type vibe, no, and therefore it's going to be a pass. I know nothing about this book. It probably is completely my bag, but the stars are not aligned for this one, so I'm going to pass. An automatic keep is going to be anything Emily Nichols. This is the advanced reader copy of Some Like It Cold. The sequel to this is already out, but I would very much like to read it. So we're keeping it for at least another journey, another house move. We have Nostalgia by Agnes Arnold Foster. This is a non-fiction about nostalgia, and therefore is not what I thought it was. This is not what I thought this was at all. And I've already packed all my non-fictions, so I'm going to pass. I thought this was a different book, which has a very similar front cover. And I'm glad I'm really realizing this now. And not whilst reading it. Because is there anything worse than realising that you've picked up a non-fiction when what you wanted was a thriller? No thank you. So, pass. And then my last advanced reader copy is The Courting of Bristol Keats by Mary E. Pearson. I've recommended this to people without even reading it yet, just because I know that people have very similar reading tastes, and that has worked really well in my stead. Have I read it? No. Is she massive? Yes. Is there a gap? Yes. Do I want to keep her? No. Like, if I'm being completely honest, no. And again, I feel like I would have really vibed with this maybe a few years ago, but now I'm worried this is going to remind me too much of the encyclopedia one and like the Adeline Grace books, and I just... No, I'm going to pass. I think this is going to be too whimsy fairy romancy for me. So that's a pass. We're passing. But the upside is there's plenty of space for Spell Shop, so she's safe. This one I did say I was going to keep anyway. And actually I do have space for both of those series. And I have probably like just enough space to maybe fit in at least one more advanced reader copy, if anyone wants to send me anything. So yeah, actually that works out quite well, because it means then I can fit more series onto my fantasy series shelf. And then if I have space, then I'll move things around. And then I've got more space, and then I have more gaps. We love gaps. God, I've never had gaps on my shelf before. We live in crazy times. If you've got a book that you're highly anticipating in the next few months, let me know in the comments down below. If you just want to leave an emoji so that you were here, feel free to leave a little book emoji. Treat yourself to something from Waypoint because it supports me and my content. Check out the links down below because I have a Patreon now, and as I said earlier, I have Kelly's information for her book down there as well. But most importantly, have a nice day.